Panda Watch. Please drop a comment in the comment section if you know what movie that was from. I'd like to know if I'm old and I've aged myself out of pop culture references. But what's going on, guys? King Shrats here, back with another video on the channel. And today, Panda Express, as you can see, the giant panda on here. I don't know why my habit of saying today we went when the logo is on the screen is a thing. But Panda Express has some new food items, and this is what I came here for. It's right on the top. Apple pie roll, aka an apple pie egg roll. I saw a couple videos of this on social media. Thank you for the people who do tag me in this kind of stuff. I do try to see those things and deliver. And there was also some comments in the comment section that there is a new entree, which is in one of these things. It's not this one because that's mid-main. I do like the fact that Panda Express labels their things on the top. Got the Beijing beef. I got a family meal. It's like 40 bucks, and it would have cost less than if I just got everything individually. So we'll give the rest away and make some friends. We got some rice. Let's put the sides over here. And then we got, of course, it's going to be the last one I pick out. Nope, this is it right here. Can y'all read? It said, okay, y'all don't want to show y'all because they got a name on here, even though it's not my name. Chili crisp shrimp. Few comments from people saying, oh, you got to try this, review this. I got y'all. I love y'all. I try to deliver when I can. So that is what's on the agenda today. The two new Panda Express items. Through the power of editing, you will see this all assembled and ready to go right now. So there you have it. Everything's all splayed out. I already explained what's what, but let's just go through it again. We got the chow mein. We have the white rice, which is the family meal. Again, it costs $40, and you get 3 entrees and 2 sides. We have the Beijing beef and the orange chicken, which are my 2 favorite entrees. Other than this, which is something I've never had before, but this is the chili crisp shrimp, and I wasn't expecting it to look like that, but it does look good. And then we do have, let me take one of these bad boys out so I can give y'all what it is, the apple pie roll, which has cinnamon sugar on it. I did not know that. Look at this. Now we've got ourselves a nice little W. And a thumbnail. People always wonder where the thumbnails come from. Ask any YouTuber who makes videos and stuff like this. They will tell you they all do the same stuff. They make a weird pose, right? And then you hold it up to the camera, and then you take that screenshot later, and then you edit it. That's it. We all do it, man. We're guilty of it. But let's start off with this. The apple pie, I was going to say cinnamon. The apple pie egg roll. Normal egg roll wrapper, but on the inside is going to be apple pie filling. And of course, the cinnamon sugar on the outside. I heard these absolutely bang. So I did get 3 of them. They're like $2 a piece, which is okay for some reason. Give me another one. Ooh, give me, hold. It just caught me. Hold on. Normally I don't start with dessert, but today I'm glad I did. Here's the filling. You get a little shot on the inside. There's little apple chunks, which I'm not a fan of apple chunks and stuff. So if I like this, the apples aren't crunchy. They're cooked enough, in my opinion, that I'm not getting that weird texture difference. Some people like, but I don't. The apple on the inside is not as sweet as a lot of apple pies. If you're thinking of something like McDonald's apple pie, it's much less sweet, but it's brought up by the fact that it is absolutely rolled and coated in cinnamon sugar, which provides that little extra bit of sweetness that gives it those taste that you're gonna want. The good thing about it is they didn't make the filling sweet, because if they did, I do think that this would be overly sweet. It's just sweet enough, which I do like. This is like a freaking running theme, but I'm gonna say it because I keep saying it. I'm sorry. I'm gonna say it again. There's a lot of people that are probably going to repeat what I'm saying because you've heard me say it 17 times in the last month, but make sure. If I got food in my teeth, don't care. Panda Express. You got something here. Keep it on the menu. All right? As a nice little dessert, because somebody going to copy you. I would. As a nice little dessert, talking about chain restaurant sides, this is way up there for me. Like, way up there. I'm glad I got 3. 9.4 out of 10. Way up there on that scale for me on that fast food chain restaurant. Wow, man. That's better than McDonald's apple pie, bro. Try it. Let's get into this crispy chili shrimp. It looks like the same shrimp they use in their walnut shrimp, which is my 3rd favorite entree. I had to switch it for this, but It's got that same like tempura breading, and it looks like some peppers and some onions in here. I'm gonna try a shrimp and then kind of mix and match and see what's what. I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna tell you what. I am very. Here we go. Boom, and then boom. Whoop. I can't even get it with this. I don't care. The food tastes better in the container. I'm gonna tell you what. This is my unadulterated, honest opinion about the Panda. That was crazy. When their sides and entrees are good, they bang. They also have some embarrassingly mid entrees and sides. This is on the side of it bangs. The flavor on this, not overly spicy. Now, I don't know if they did this on accident, because sometimes places screw up, but this almost has a charred taste. Sorry. Oh, man. This almost has a charred taste that I find like really good. Just enough spice. If you like those packets of chili sauce they have, you'll love these, because that's what it tastes like. No joke. I'm going to try these other ones before I make a knee-jerk reaction. But already, that's in my top 4, anything at Panda Express, on their entrees list. I don't know if it's better than these two legends, but holy hell, that good. I'm glad I tried that. Wow. Easily a 9 out of 10. Oh, man. Hold on. Let me get with you. That even makes that decent. They did something with that. Very good. Very, very good. But let's try the rest of these as well. We got our Beijing beef, which I think is excellent at this place. So here we go. Never had Panda Express. I would stick to these and the honey, or the walnut shrimp. Not good. That is good. Panda's one of those things, man. Some of the stuff, if your Panda Express experience varies greatly each time you go. But they don't miss with these three. They do not. You got the orange chicken, which is like their famous thing, is what they're known for. Yeah. This meal certified right here. Oh, yeah. I didn't even go over my drink of the day. No soda this time. We got our OG gallon of lemonade Crystal Light. For sure. Now, that is the review portion, but a lot of you guys have been enjoying just kind of little low-key conversations that I have at the end of videos. So, let's talk about it. Excuse me. I feel bad for Aaron Rodgers, man. I do. As a Jet fan, that had to be a very bittersweet game for you. You had the mother of all Pyrrhic victories. It's like a victory where you win, but you, in the long run, lose. That's kind of what it feels like. Because everybody knew their defense was elite. They have a very good defense. They did last year. And I think optimistically, a lot of Jets fans and their brass, meaning like the front office, believed that if they had a quarterback who could give you average league play, didn't even have to be elite league play, but average league play, you'd be a contender. And I'll be honest with you, any team not named the New York Jets, I'd be inclined to agree with that. What I mean when I say that is it very much reminded me the era around the Jets of like when Brett Favre got there. You had an all-time great towards the tail end of his career who was kind of latching on to a contender who many people thought of the missing piece. When Brett Favre got there, there was a very similar vibe. And for all intents and purposes, he did deliver it initially. Now, I think that his injury, I remember he tore his bicep tendon, and then he got he cut it instead of actually getting it surgically repaired so he can continue to play. But his play kind of had a nosedive after that. So a lot of people blame that injury on why they didn't. So, of course, offseason he ends up going to Minnesota and having a little better of an ending, even though he did throw that pick. Threw a lot of picks. It just reminds me of people saying, okay, we're just missing a quarterback. Bring a quarterback. And there was some merit to that. 4 plays in, he blows his Achilles tendon, man. And that just sucks. I'm not a Jet fan, but I'm also not one of those fans that I don't necessarily root against teams, or I'm not one, like a lot of people, I hate this team. I'm not that. Now, Dallas notwithstanding in Philly, whereas I don't ever root for them, I don't care about the Jets enough I'm just being honest. So, say I hope they lose. I've never been that. Even when the Jets had the Rex Ryan era, and, they were winning, Jets fans got a little obnoxious, but it was their time in the sun. I didn't really care. But I feel bad because that just took the air out of people's tires. They did come back and have a great win, but there's a drastic difference between having Aaron Rodgers back there, even at 39, than having Zach Wilson. That's just the fact. Can they win with him? Yes, but it's going to be a lot different of a type of team. They're not going to be able to light the scoreboard up like they might have been with Aaron Rodgers. As good as that receiving core is, they might have had a chance to do it. Your chances of that are very small now. So it's going to come down to your defense playing well enough to beat or keep your team in games and kind of have that formula like they did yesterday where they kept the game close. They made a couple of plays here and there, and they got the win. I know that because I'm a Giants fan. That's the Giants formula. Stay in games, win games late in the end. It just makes games a lot more grindy, and the margin of error when you can't get into a game where you're going to put up 30, 40 points ever, it makes it a lot tougher because those close games can really be the difference between the Giants won a bunch, the Vikings won a bunch of close games last year, and the Jets lost a few of them towards the end of the season and started it's a very small margin of error, and it just makes you have to play truly mistake-free football in order to win those games. And not just to win, to have a chance to win. So, coming into week 1, now you have the rest of the season, it's tough for me to even watch. I felt bad. And plus, I don't dislike Aaron Rodgers. I don't ever think that I would be the type of person who would cheer for an injured player. But, just watching yesterday, I don't dislike Zach Wilson as a person. I just think right now, for whatever reason or not, he makes a lot of ill-advised throws. And that's not good. I'll just leave it at that. I also was talking about this last night on Twitch, that I think Josh Allen is extremely talented of a football player, but I think it's taking people, it took yesterday for people to see what I've been saying for a year. He has a lot of issues with overconfidence. That's why people are comparing him to Brett Favre. Brett Favre was also like this, and being a gunslinger, and thinking you can fit any throw in any window, no matter where it didn't matter. And that overconfidence sometimes gets you to throw a lot of picks where you're going, why would you make that throw? And he does it a lot because his arm is that strong. And also because he's such a good runner with the ball. He's not like a Lamar Jackson type of runner, but he's like a giant tight end that's fast running down the field. So he can escape and kind of extend plays. It has caused him to not make reads that what an elite quarterback should be making. At this point in his career, he should be making those reads, and he's not making them. Instead, I don't want to get too into X's and O's. We talked about it on Twitch, but more or less, every time a quarterback drops back to throw the ball in a design play, I'm trying to simplify this. You have what's called a progression, right? You have a first option, a second option, a third option, a fourth option, and at times a fifth option. When you talk about elite quarterbacks like Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, I'm talking all-time greats. Go back and watch their highlights and watch them look at one player, second player, third player, fourth player. Oh, here's the fifth player. Also, the ability to, okay, how do I make this simple? The ability to say, okay, I'm throwing to my first option, but I don't want the defense that's reading me to know I'm throwing it there. So I'm going to look in that direction so they think I'm throwing there, but I'm going here the whole time. It's called looking off the safeties or the secondary. It's basically what any elite quarterback is very, very good at. The ability to say, okay, I'm throwing here, but I'm going to look this way. And at the last second, because I know that guy's going to be where he's supposed to be, this is going to be open, boom, I throw it this way. Josh Allen does neither of those things well. And to be an elite quarterback, Patrick Mahomes progressed to the fact that he can do it now. Even Lamar Jackson can do it now, to the point that they have learned how to do those things. But Josh Allen, if he doesn't see his first option, sometimes he'll go to his second option, but most of the time he'll take off and run. And when you get against these defensive coordinators in the NFL, I sound like I'm trying to like simplify it. When you get against these guys in the NFL now, those coordinators, I think some point halfway through last year, people kind of realized that, and they have really forced him as best they can. He's still great. To take away his first and second option, and it's caused him to force throws to those two players a lot. And it's causing him to throw a lot of interceptions. If you look at the trend of interceptions he had, he's thrown a ton more since the second half of last year to now. And I think he's good enough to overcome that. But I think that when Brian Daboll, the Giants' current head coach, left them, he has been taking less care of the ball because Brian Daboll kind of was drilling it into him. For whatever reason, it's not there right now. So I think the Bills, if you're a Bills fan, still have a significant chance. They're still a supremely talented team. But until they make that adjustment, what you saw yesterday that started in the second half of last season is going to continue to happen until he gets that under control. I understand he's got a guy like Diggs and he's got some good secondary guys, but good defensive teams, any good defensive coordinator, they are going to try to take away. And when it's almost like in baseball, when someone figures out you can't hit a curveball, you're going to see nothing but curveballs until you learn how to hit them. So I'm watching the Jets kind of disguise a lot of different coverages, give him different looks, mix it up, and it confused him yesterday to the point that he said, okay, I can still make this throw. I'm not even going to look over here. He's got to get that out of his system. And I think he can, but it's going to take a little bit of time and kind of retraining yourself to do it because you can't get away with just taking off and running every single time, even though he's done it. But when you get into those close games, you get the battle, you've got to be able to make those reads. And any elite quarterback can do that. So that's kind of my take on yesterday's game. I know some of that got a little bit too for some people. I'm not saying this as an insult, but if you don't like really care, I know I got kind of intricate there. I can talk even more in depth about stuff like that. Again, I played not at the NFL, but in college at a high enough level that I understand defensive concepts, what the offense is trying to do. So I watched the game a little bit more from an analytical perspective that some people watching it in real time you may not see. So if you're interested in stuff like that, like we talk about it on stream more. You know, this isn't a football channel. So that's all. This was delicious. I would sit here and eat this whole thing if I could, but I just finished my workout, as you can tell, and I don't want to get chunky. So I'm gracefully walking away, and I'm going to go make some friends. But that's going to be the end of the video, man. I hope you guys did enjoy. That's it, man. I love y'all. We'll be back tomorrow. More content, man. The hand signs, they made it to YouTube.